Hey y'all, welcome to Dots and Beyond. I'm Beth, and I'm back. Let's go ahead and do a plan with me. So if you are new here, I have had this big moving drama that took way too long. I am moved. We are in the new place. I am nowhere near unpacked, but I have found my journaling stuff enough that we can do this plan with me. If I was able to turn this camera around right now, the rest of this room is a hot mess express, but we're starting to get there, and I am just glad to be moved and to be starting to get settled. I spent my day today doing things in the kitchen and putting up shelving and trying to organize things on this particular Saturday because of course I moved last weekend, and then I've worked all week. I have been at work and I have not had time to unpack my place. So we're trying to take it a little easy so that we don't get a little burnout. But it's March, and we're going to plan for the 11th through the 17th. And I didn't even do last week. So we did do, the very end of February, the first part of March. I didn't even get to a plan with me last week. I didn't know where anything was. I had this in my purse. I did have my journal with me. I could have just done a pen plan with me, but sometimes we have to skip a week. Sometimes you have to skip a week because life gets in the way, and that is A-okay. But we're ready. Let's do some March planning. I have a really big event this week. I'm going to use bits and pieces from my kit here. This is available on my Patreon if you would like to go download that. You do not have to be a patron or a member to do so. And we're just going to cut out one of these little scenes that was inspired by the Emerald Isle of Ireland for our Emerald Door theme for March. I have a very busy week this week, so again, I will be at work a lot and will not have a whole lot of time to continue unpacking my place, which is why I've tried to get a lot of things done this morning so that I feel like I can kind of function. Functionality is good. Definitely enjoy having the extra space. I moved into a larger apartment so that I could have an office space. Didn't necessarily want the price tag that came along with it, but sometimes that price tag is worth both your mental health in terms of where you're working. If you have to do some work from home, I do work from home a couple of days a week in my day job. And I was working in the corner of my bedroom. I have an L-shaped desk. It was smushed into the corner of my bedroom. I had to keep everything blurred during meetings because my bed was always in the background. All of those fun things, in addition to what I do for Dots and Beyond. And it just was one of those things that had to change. And sometimes you just can't put a price tag on some things. And sometimes that is peace of mind and being more productive because you like where you're working. All right, I am going to put some headers up here if I can find them. There we go. I have cut up my sheets so that I can fit them in the back of my planner here. They do print on an 8.5 by 11. And I just trim them down into sections so that I can store them and cut things out as we go. I do print my kit on washi paper. It is available on Amazon. It is on the pricier side. I've mentioned that before as far as printer paper or even sticker paper is concerned. But if you can swing it, it definitely helps keep some of the bulk out of your journal. So tell me, how has been your March? I think everyone who watches on a regular basis knows that my January and my February were not the greatest months on the planet. I told somebody that 2024 was going to begin on March 1st for me. And yeah, for the most part, I think we're there. I think we've come over a hurdle. I did have one additional hurdle. If you watched my March plan with me, where we originally set up this Emerald Door theme, one of my goals under Home and Hearth was that I needed to take my car in and get an estimate because it was acting up. And they basically had to rebuild much of my coolant system, and it was not a pretty price tag. So there are many things that I wanted to do in my move, some pieces of furniture that I had stuck on a wish list and was just kind of eyeballing coming into the new space. And those things are just going to have to stay on my wish list for a little bit longer because I had a very, very big price tag on my car. And yet I'm grateful that I do have the means that I was able to pay it and get my car back in a fairly quick fashion, and that I have a kid who was willing to shuttle me around the week that I was moving to get some things done. It really would have been a whole different situation if I needed to replace my car right now, or if I'd not been able to afford it. I just have to put some other things on hold. Many of you know I've been going to physical therapy twice a week, or I was through much of January and February. That is done. Thank goodness, because those price tags in the American healthcare system, even with the decent healthcare that I have, and I do get some discounts on my healthcare because of where I work, physical therapy was still. The initial visit, I think, was $125 out of pocket, and then my subsequent visits were $90 a piece, and that really put a hurt on my savings, I can tell you that. Because I did 6 visits. Yeah, you do the math. And then the car on top of it, plus moving expenses, right? Even if your move was short, which mine was, I moved basically in the same building. Still took a lot of effort, but from a smaller apartment into a larger one. The medical costs that I've had over the last 2 months. And then my car. Good times. I'm just trying to stay upbeat. Trying to limit myself in other areas so I feel like I can make up for those costs. Trying to not be all woe is me about all of it, because there's only so much you can do. You can't change everything. All right, so we have our headers in for the week. I'm going to take my signature colors here that I have, and we are going to highlight that week over here. Even though it's circled in the common planner, we're going to go ahead and highlight it because I have covered up my 11, 12, 13, 14. You know, that's fine. It's all good. There. Then we're going to, what are we going to do first? Washi tape? Washi tape. I think the last one that I didn't have any washi tape because I had already packed it. And I actually really like this. I don't know if I need this washi tape. Maybe I'll put it at the bottom. We'll put it at the bottom for the weather situation down here. But for now, I'm not going to stick it up at the top. I have started putting my weather down at the bottom. So that's different as opposed to having it up at the top. And it's working for me. I like it down there. Sometimes you just have to move things around. I cannot get this washi tape loose. There we go. All right. Put it right about there. It's a pretty green washi tape with a gold vine on it. Take it to about right there. All right. And what does the weather look like in Little Rock for this week? It's gonna rain. And it's gonna be cloudy. And that's not my favorite weather, but that's what we are going to have. So now it is a fairly sunny day on Saturday. I think tomorrow's supposed to be fairly sunny as well. And then the clouds come in and the rain comes in. We've got some storms. There's one day that the weather icon is quite literally sun, cloud, rain, lightning. The icon has all of those things on it, which is par for the course in Arkansas. That's how I feel about it. It kind of sums up our weather quite well. It just never knows what it wants to do. And so we just have an icon that encompasses all the things. It says it's going to do all these things in this one single day just to confuse everyone. We go from a mostly sunny day to a mostly cloudy day. And then we need our little rain icon on Wednesday. Thursday is the confusing day. We're going to do the cloud icon. We're going to stick a little bit of sunshine on there. We're going to add our lightning bolt and some little rain markers. How's that? Is that confusing or what? That's what it looks like on the weather app too. Friday, it is supposed to rain. Definitely spring weather. For sure. And much rather rain than tornadoes, because that could be our other option. Our other option could be that we have tornadoes, because that's what happens here in Arkansas in the springtime, is we get tornadoes. And last April, I guess it was April, we had a big tornado here in Little Rock. In different parts of the city, you drive around and there's still rebuilding. You still see blue tarps on roofs as the roofers have gone as fast as they can around the city to get everybody taken care of and all of their homes put back together, their businesses put back together. A lot of things are still in different temporary locations. As far as the temperature is concerned, we are looking at a high of 66 and a low of 42 on Monday. We're going to go up into the 70s on Tuesday, Wednesday again. Yeah, again, I'm a Fahrenheit girly. Even though it's raining, at least the temperatures are up at a decent point during most of the days. Make it a little bit easier on those of us who really don't like cold weather. There is that. Now, how did I do this before? Did I just highlight that top row? I did, very lightly. So I have a very large meeting Tuesday and Wednesday. We talked about it in my plan with me. Most organizations have a board of directors, a board of trustees, a board of some kind. We are hosting that meeting at our organization at Tuesday and Wednesday. So I will be at work as opposed to remote for much of the week, I think. See, Monday's prep day, so I definitely gotta be there. And Wednesday, maybe I can swing a remote day on Thursday. I don't know. We're gonna try if I can make that work. Otherwise, we're going to put in, I think I wrote work before, but we're going to put in office and office. Not quite sure about that yet. I'm going to check with my supervisor. I don't think she'll have a problem with it. And then I'm normally remote on Fridays unless I have an event. And I'm normally remote on Tuesdays. But obviously, I will need to be there Tuesday. All right, meeting time. When do I have meetings? I have a meeting here. Let's see, what did I want to... Oh, that's right. We did the lines for my work day. I think I'm going to do that again. We're going to use this little stencil because it's short, and there we go. Is that 8 to 5? Yeah, that's 8 to 5. 8 to 5 there, and 8 to 5 there. Switching over to my gold dot marker, which is always my secondary color. We're going to put that I have a meeting at 2 o'clock here. This we're gonna block off for prep time that whole morning. Thursday, I have a meeting right at noon, which I've complained about before on this channel, that people who feel like it's necessary to schedule meetings over the noon hour. I'm sure they're accommodating somebody else, but most of us would prefer to not have this thing. There, I'm just gonna put meeting. Here, I'm gonna put board. Here, I'm gonna put board. And this one will go to the end of the day, and then there is a dinner with the board that I have to attend. This one will go until 12 or 12:30. We'll put it to 12:30. Oh, look, I've smudged my dot. Oh well. Event prep the whole morning before here. Event breakdown here. And then I forgot that I have a 3 o'clock on this day, if I can make it there, to a diversity cohort that I am a part of. And it will take me to the end of the day. I'm going to extend this down because technically these are working hours. Just for one day. Just for one day. And board dinner. We're going to a different restaurant this time though, so I'm excited. It's not a restaurant I would normally take myself to, so that's fun. Up here, I'm going to make a little circle for my co-star weekly email. I always put a little blurb in there. Last week it said you have a desire for indulgence in the deepest parts of your psyche. Change and separation will force you to let go and move on. Those sorts of things. I just put it in there. It's always something very centering. Always makes me stop and think. And I'll leave plenty of space to write that in. For the rest of the week, let me think. I'm going to go ahead and put in a space for me to write in dinners. We do have the HelloFresh thing going on, and I'm going to put that on Thursday and Friday, Saturday and Sunday, I think. I'll be so exhausted here getting ready for this meeting that we may end up out. I will be eating out for this particular meeting, and then Wednesday we'll just figure it out. Wednesday, everybody seems to have something else going on. So it's either sort of an FYO, fix your own situation, or we just go out and get something on Wednesdays. It's a pretty normal standard thing for us around here. We're going to set aside some time for home projects because, again, I've got to find the time to get some things moved in and unpacked. I've done a lot today. I will probably do a lot tomorrow, but definitely will need to wait until I work the week and come back from that and see what I can get done on Saturday and Sunday. I'm going to wait to fill this in to see how much I get done tomorrow. In my daily log for today, I even have things like film and edit the plan with me. That's this. Find my kitchen hardware to put up specific shelves. One of those shelves being my spice rack. Laundry, put away my clothes. Haven't started any of that yet. Find my living room decor. Check. I found that the first thing this morning and started unpacking that. I'll add to this list as we go along, but those are the sorts of things that I will put on these home project lists so that I can try to get myself unpacked in some sort of timely fashion. We will see. I have a whole slew of other videos that I need to do and want to do, including getting my son's March plan with me up, which is not done yet. If y'all know, I do his creative bullet journal, and I need to give him his journal back for sure. He has been planning in his phone waiting to have his bullet journal back. But again, moving got in the way. On Tuesdays is when my HelloFresh box gets delivered. I will have my son here to get that on Tuesday. I don't have any other orders in at the moment. I don't have a Walmart order in. I don't have any kind of Amazon order in. So that's the only thing that we are going to put down here at the moment. Otherwise, we will leave that to see how that shakes out. And I can probably just go ahead and add in some decorative things. We'll come back with a little bit of a decorated page. Okay, I think that is all I'm going to do for the weekly plan with me. We are going to go ahead and jump to our daily pages because I do need to do a 52 lists project list. You'll see here I went to skip a page. This was intentional. And then these two pages, and they're still stuck together. These pages wanted to stick together. I'm gonna have to come back here and take some notes on something, create a collection of the 2 pages. So last week, the list that you didn't get to see, I didn't do my plan with me for the week, but I did set up my list 10 for my list 52 list project. That one was list the things you should ignore. The urge to buy things, nagging doubt, medical advice from anyone not a professional. Part of the struggle of living with bipolar disorder is everybody thinks they're a mental health expert. Imposter syndrome and complaining at work. I've just found that it doesn't do any good for anyone to complain at work. Let me grab my 52 lists project book. I did manage to find this right before I started filming. We will flip past. This is this week. We'll leave a space for tomorrow, do some more home projects, and we'll go ahead and set up our 52 list project here. We are going to be on list 11, so I'm going to cut out my header. If you've not been here for one of our 52 lists yet, this is one of those things that I don't look up in advance. I just wait until I pop open the book and see what it has to say. So there we have list 11. Here was our list 10. The action on list 10 was very fun, of the list of things you should ignore, because then it says cross out all of these things and only focus on facing the challenges that make you a better version of you. I didn't cross them out. I should go back and do that. List 11, list the ways you can rejuvenate your space. Well, you can move. It's one way to do it is you can definitely move. Oh, there is a take action. Pick one thing you can do this week and notice how your space and your mood changes. So list the ways you can rejuvenate your space. Let's go ahead and get that written in. All right. So one of the things that I am having to put on hold with my move is to paint. That's one of my favorite ways to rejuvenate my space. It's an easy way as a renter because you can always paint back over it. I always color match the paint in my apartment when I first move in. I can go back and paint it a different color. It works for me. And one of those things I've had to put on hold is buying paint. Let's see. Let's skip 2 spots between each one. I'm always big on focusing on ways to rejuvenate your space that aren't going to cost you an arm and a leg, right? That you can go ahead and execute without spending a whole lot of money. So this is one of those things we'll flip back next week and we will look at it. We will see what I decided to put here, considering I am in the process of an entire space rejuvenation. But that is it for those are not dry yet. We're going to let those dry. That is it for this particular weekly plan with me. Like I said, I have a lot of videos that I want to do. We have had some lighting changes as the sun has come and gone now that I have light in this room. So we'll also be figuring out some lighting with filming moving forward. Thank you guys for being so patient with me while I was moving. Those of you who have checked in on my son and myself with our medical conditions, everybody is doing great. We very much appreciate you. Thank you again so much to my patrons. I am back on board getting your patron rewards rolling, and I will see you all very soon. If you like this video, please give it a big thumbs up. Subscribe if you haven't already, and I will catch you in the next one.